Sal, take it away,
Yeah,
man.
I think we're rolling already, man. Great to be with all of you guys, and thanks for taking the time. Like Rob said, it's 30 minutes, so we're going to jump right in. Bob, great to see you. It's been some time. That was a nice surprise seeing your face on here. Jonathan, Indianapolis, you pretty pumped up Pacers right now, or what? It's all good. If you,
Sorry.
there you go.
Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago. I'm on the call. I'm an intern for strategy asset managers in Los
Awesome.
Angeles. So I'm not really a Pacers fan, but it's cool to be in the city where that's happening.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Good. Well, good stuff. Well, like I said, thank you all for being here. And today is about look, we have 28 minutes at this point. We're all busy people. There's a lot we can be doing, right? And my commitment to you guys is that we make this a really powerful session. So if you guys can engage with me, it's not just going to be me talking the whole time. We want to get down to kind of the nitty gritty of how to master the edges. Okay. What do I mean by master the edges? Um, Often how we start and open a meeting is super important. If we do not start powerfully, we end up creating a space that's kind of tough to recover from. Anybody ever been there? You start a meeting, maybe the client starts it for you with all of their baggage, their fears, their concerns, what they think they're there for, and you kind of follow them down that direction. Raise your hand if you've been there, right? Look, we have some guys here who have been in the industry a long time, and it still continues to happen, depending on the client and if we allow ourselves to show up unintentionally to how we open and how we close. And so, by show of hands, how much would you say a client in that first meeting, right? Someone you never met before, how much of what you say do you think they are actually retaining? If we have to put a percentage to it.
Say like 30%.
30. I'd love to hear from
10%
some.
or less.
I'll split the difference. I was going to say 20.
Yeah, so it's actually 5 to 10%. 5 to 10% of what we're actually saying is being retained when it's just information. Okay, some other numbers here. Up to 30% sticks if you pair it with visuals, metaphors, if you're telling powerful stories. But 60 to 70% can be retained if it resonates emotionally and is relevant to what they have going on. So if we can set ourselves up right out of the gates with how we frame a conversation in a way that kind of sets the tone, that's emotionally resonant and that's relevant, and that creates a space for them to be interactive and engage, we're setting ourselves up to win. This training is not about, hey, I'm going to help you close, go from 20% to 90% close ratio. This is about setting ourselves up to win. And so we're going to focus and go deep on that. Who feels like they open their client meetings pretty powerfully? Cool. Self-awareness is the game, right? Chris, were you raising your hand to say something or just raising your hand that you feel you open pretty powerfully? Oh, you're muted, bud.
Yeah, I was raising my hand to agree. I think I do a pretty good job. Uh, with Chris's help, like I will say, one of the first things that I've added to my process is I'm so grateful you found the time to join me today. Like I never used to express gratefulness for them being in the meeting with me. That has definitely helped. But then, I think my discovery process and, tell me about you, why did you take this meeting? You didn't have to take this meeting. I think I do a pretty good job at trying to identify and connect with why they have come to the meeting, you know?
Yeah, so it sounds like some fundamental things you were already doing, some stuff you've taken from our work together, is having you feel pretty confident in that. And I love that. But the truth is, right, you can have a client meeting right before the next one and back to back, and that kind of throws you off. And so I want to create a structure, a formula for all of you to leave this call with that you can implement every time. Do it the same way every time. Say the same things every time. I was working with a client this week and I shared with them, if you were to go see the Rolling Stones in concert and they didn't play Satisfaction, would that be kind of weird?
Yeah. It's the whole reason you're there.
right? And do you think at some point the Stones were sick and tired of playing? They were probably tired of it at some point. The song's pretty old, but people come for the hits. And the Rolling Stones know they have to play the hits. And so anything that you guys take from today that you feel is powerful that you can implement, I want you to take it and I want you to play the hits to the point of exhaustion, because that's how you will make it your own and that's how you will really get good at this and own it. Okay? So some of you who have been jumping on these Advisor Edge trainings the past couple of weeks may have went through an exercise where we asked you, what are you known for? Whether you did or didn't do that, I want you to just take 2 minutes here and I want you to write down two things. Don't worry about being articulate or sounding articulate here. I want you to write down what you're known for. And when you finish that up, what you're committed to for your clients. Let's take like 2 minutes here. Give you guys another minute here. For those of you who are ready to, I want to take one of you. I'd love to hear what's the thing that you're known for, and if you did both, what's the thing that you're committed to for your clients? Bob, I kind of want to pick on you because you're alumni now, but I think Brian just unmuted himself, so you got away with one today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to share. I mean, I'm out. I had a hard time like knowing what I'm known for professionally. But I mean, I guess you can call us professional, but I'm just known in my career in finance for my like personal skills, my relationship skills, and my intelligence. Like I know a lot about the industry, about what we do, on how to help people. And I think people know that. I think I have a pretty good reputation, but I think my biggest like what I'm known for the people that have worked with me is just my relationship skills. And what I'm committed to doing is helping people live a life of financial freedom.
And Brian, I remember you from a couple of the other calls that I joined. Are you in the mortgage industry or are you a financial advisor?
Both.
Okay, got it. I knew there was something there with the mortgage industry. Okay.
Well, that's my niche is I specialize in mortgage professionals,
Mortgage,
mortgage loan
that's it.
officers, but I do own a mortgage brokerage on the side, a small mortgage shop. So you can say that.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I remember something about you and focusing on the mortgage industry in one way, shape, or form. Who else? I'd love to hear from one more of you on this, the thing that you're known for and what you're committed to.
I just put that what we're known for uh, more than anything else is helping our clients see a bigger vision of what's possible, so they can move beyond a life of success to a life of significance.
Just writing this
And
down.
yeah, as far as what I'm committed to is showing up as a leader, challenging them more than they've ever been challenged, but also supporting them more than they've ever been supported.
Awesome. Perfect. That is, you sound like you're speaking our language, Mason. What firm are you with?
With Edward Jones,
Out of where?
Dallas.
Out of Dallas. Awesome. So look, I asked for those up front. I want you guys to take whatever you wrote down and keep it in your back pocket. Let's go back to why people only retain 10%, 5 to 10% of what we're saying. What do you think gets in the way of that? Just unmute yourselves and throw some ideas here at me.
Product, sales, people get turned off.
Chris, you're breaking up a little bit, but I think we did get the gist of what you're saying. You said product, sales. I think he was saying people get turned off by industry terminology and whatnot. Right? Pretty clear. Like they bring all this baggage to this meeting with us that gets in the way of them actually being present.
That kind of line,
I'm gonna mute.
if you jump right into it.
Chris, is he breaking up for you guys as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So everything that they bring to the meeting gets in the way, right?
Yeah.
Is this guy going to try to sell me something? Am I going to have to show my financial statements? Do I trust this person? Right? These things are happening consciously and subconsciously. So the first thing we can do, again, in the spirit of setting ourselves up to win, we have to release the pressure. Easier said than done, but I'm giving you guys some tools and words, actual language that I want you to steal. Take this from us, make it your own. Okay. So if I were to, I'm just going to demonstrate this. using some of the language that Mason shared. And I want you to just put yourself in the client's shoes, okay? Let's say, who am I going to pick here? Brian, imagining you're my client, okay? I'd share something along the lines of, hey, Brian, really appreciate you booking the meeting with me today. And look, as far as I'm concerned, today is all about you. My only intention for today is to get to know you, what's most important to you, your family, and your business. Okay? And there's no pressure today. The only decision that we're going to make is whether or not it makes sense for us to meet again. So my ask is that you be here, you be present with me, engage with me. I'm going to have a lot of questions for you so that we can kind of get to the core of what really matters for you. But before we jump into that, Brian, and learn about you, I do think it's really valuable for you to understand a couple of things about us. While financial services is what we do, the thing that we're known for is helping our clients kind of stretch their vision of what's possible. And we help them move from not just a life of success, but to a life of significance. So I'm really excited to learn what that looks like for you. Tell me your story. Just going to pause there. Brian, tell me what was present for you there, how it made you feel. If it was great, if you thought it sucked, I'd love to hear from you.
It's hard to say because like I'm in the industry and sometimes it's hard to like put yourself in the position of someone that isn't and someone that is like intimidated or uneducated on this. But overall, just made me feel like it brought my guard down, and it made me feel like this isn't a sales call. You're just getting to know me and see how you can help me. And I would imagine like most people feel pretty refreshed because the majority of financial service industry is trying to sell products. And I used to be one of those people. I worked for a large bank and wanted to get out of that. And I used to do it all the time. First meeting, I'm selling you annuities, I'm selling you mortgages. I'm like, first meeting, first time I ever meet you. And I think that's how most of the industry is. So I that's how it made me feel.
Good. Good. Would anybody who agrees, who felt that way? And if anyone has, kind of a contrary experience of that.
Oh, I agree. I love what you said, Sal. And I think there are two things that mess up the sales process to your last, that initial meeting. And one is that there's just such high tension. And I think the framing takes that tension down immediately. And the second is that it's all about them. I'm not telling them how smart I am and how cool I am and how experienced I am, which you didn't do. There's not one word about your qualifications. It's not what that preamble's about. I love it.
So Bob, you brought up a very great point that I'm really glad you did. Because if we go back to what we said earlier, right, 60 to 70% can be retained if it resonates emotionally and if it's relevant to them. So if we show up talking about all of our, letters that follow our name, our SEPA and our CPA and all these things, that's not emotionally resonant or relevant. And odds are, if they're already sitting down with you, they think you're pretty smart, right? They think you're a pretty competent person. The only thing that I did say about myself, Bob, was before we jump in and learn about you, I think it's really valuable for you to understand a couple of things about us. But even when I shared that, it was about them. Everything that I'm saying is, I wasn't saying that we're known for helping our clients see a bigger vision of what's possible to stroke my ego. So if that person's living in a little bit of limitation around what's possible and is already successful, and you talk about success to significance, now I'm curious. Now I want to know what do you mean by significance? Right? And so everything that we're saying, remember, they're not buying your thing. They're buying a solution to their problem. So if their problem is thinking and limitation, not seeing what's possible, and if their problem is, having a pile of money and not feeling significant, now you're speaking their language. Now it's emotionally resonant. So I want you guys to write these down. I'll copy and paste them in the chat box as well. The pressure releasing statements that I shared right out of the gates, okay, one of the first things I said, as far as I'm concerned, today is all about you, what's important to you, your business, and your family. Obviously, you guys can spin those words depending on who you're talking to. And I followed right up with my intention for our time together is to add value to you, whether we work together or not. And that's when I said it, made it very clear. There's no pressure today. Okay? Like, have fun with that. There's no pressure today. I want you to know that. The only decision we're going to make is if it makes sense for us to meet again. And then be bold. So my ask is that you be present and you engage with me today. That exudes leadership. I mean, that's what I try to do with you guys today, right? What's one of the first things I said to you? Hey, we have 30 minutes. There's all other things we can be doing. Let's make today special, right? Be present and engage with me. It really sets the tone. And then I jumped into what we're known for and what we're committed to a little bit. But the what we're committed to is really about the close, how you close the meeting. So I'm curious here, who feels, well, let's pause there. Anybody have any questions or thoughts on these pressure releasing statements that we can support with? Pretty clear? Can you all see yourselves implementing some of this and what you're doing? Awesome. That's what we want. Like I said, we want you to take this and we want you to put it to the test, right? Play the hits, but play them over and over because you may not be good at it at first. It's new language, right? So get the reps in, get through the awkwardness so you can really show up bold and powerfully. So when we talk about master the edges, right? We start powerfully and we close powerfully. As long as we don't totally screw up in the middle, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We do think the middle, right? When you get into discovery and you're asking them questions, that's actually where the sale is made. But starting and ending powerfully will set you up for success. So who here feels like you have a really good segue into how you close your meetings? That's the one, right? That's the one that's like, man, it all depends on what the client gave us, how the meeting went. Sometimes the meeting goes great.
Yeah.
We feel like we did great. And go ahead, Chris.
Well, I'm normally trying to link it back to what we've uncovered, so I'm obviously jotting along, you thought that, you expressed a story about having to, take care of your parents. So you expressed, wanting an education around long-term care, for example. I'm trying to link it back to things they brought up. So I'll probably, close with, does it make sense for us to meet again and look at this from a holistic perspective in regards to the protection and the financial planning? Or is it more an education around a specific topic or, something that we discussed today that you would like to know more about? That's how I'm generally closing.
Got it. Well, Chris, I think there's some great in that. And I also think there's a chance for you to be even more bold and really show that leadership, right? That you're not just talking about product and really show up as a leader. So, look, when you feel like you can really help someone, and we've all had it, that client that's just perfect. They've opened up to us. We feel like, we would enjoy hanging out with this person, just the ideal client. Tell them that. Be bold, be direct, and tell them that. And so a way that we frame that and that we encourage our advisors to is, look, Mason, I'll use you as an example. Based on everything you've shared with me today, I know that we can make a profound difference for you and your family. And I want you to know what you can count on from us, Mason. If we work together, we're going to challenge you more than you have ever been challenged because we believe in you and we see what's possible for you and your family. But you can also count on us to support you more than you have ever felt supported. So I'd really love to go ahead and set up that next meeting. Mason, give me your thoughts, the feeling that you got from that little role play there.
Well, one, it kind of to me, it felt like you were proving to me that what you said at the beginning of the meeting is true. That you weren't just trying to hook me at the beginning, and now I'm interested, and now we're going straight to setting up the account, back
Yeah.
right into products, right into planning. It's like, the commitment wasn't about, being the best, financial, having the best plan or the best product. It was, about where we started, leadership and support.
Yeah, and look, even when I role play this, guys, like I feel empowered saying that to someone. Based on everything you shared, I know we can make a profound difference for you and your family. And then the other part of that was just using Mason's language and some possibility language there as well. You can count on us to challenge you more than you've ever been challenged because we believe in you. But we'll also be there to support you more than you've ever felt supported. Have a little swagger with it, right? Like your experience of me is going to be different than of me and my team, right? If you want to take it away from yourself, your experience of us is going to be different than anything you've experienced in this industry. Obviously, you have to feel that. You have to be convicted by that. And so in that first meeting, again, the only goal, right, is to get to that second meeting if you have that 2-meeting process. I know we only got 4 minutes here, so I'd love to open it up to all of you and to Rob. Any questions based on the edges, right? The opening and the close that we discussed today.
Sal, can you throw that close in the chat? Is that possible?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Thank you much.
Yeah, grab that, guys, if you can copy and paste from the chat. Rob, I don't know if we can send this out to everyone as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that in the replay email.
Awesome. Well, like I said, we have a couple of minutes for any questions. And before we get there, if any of you, would like to go deeper on this, Rob and I will share my calendar link. I'd be glad to jump on 30 minutes with you guys. 15 or 30-minute link we have, whatever it is. We'll, glad to get on there, learn about you guys and serve you guys however we can.
I have a quick question, Sal.
Yeah.
So we spoke about the beginning and the end. Traditionally my first meeting is going through, kind of the value proposition that we have as a firm and the role we play in our clients' lives. What percentage of your ideal conversation would be about the firm and about the role we play in our clients' lives? Or would it just be an open discussion in regards to, what's going on in their life? And you would hear that they may have, certain things going on and you would relate it back to the work you do. Would it just be kind of a flow of case studies, maybe, of work that you do with your clients versus, a series of slides?
You said in that first meeting or that second meeting, Chris?
In the first meeting. We've got the beginning, we've got the end here. What does the ideal middle look like? Are you just talking to the client, listening to them and relating case studies back? Or is it a process where you can, show slides and go in more depth on what you do as a firm?
Yeah, I think, Chris, and you and I will go further on this. Discovery is everything, right? The edges are important, but if we can get discovery right, then we're really setting ourselves up for success. Because again, it's not about, they're never buying your thing. So when you are doing a slide deck and you're talking about case studies, that's still your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're not buying your thing, they're buying a solution to their problem. So if we can get in discovery and have them connect the dots, hey, he helped me see what my problem is, right? And get really good at that. And then have them connect the dots at how your thing is the solution to their problem. Now it's a lot easier for them to buy it. It makes sense for them to buy it.
Got it. Thank you.
We'll talk about restructuring that a little bit. If that would serve you.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Thank you.
All right. I know we got a minute here. Anything else, or Rob, I'll let you close us out.
Awesome. Sal, thank you so much, man. So many valuable insights in there. Thank you all for taking 30 minutes in the middle of your Thursday to hang out with us. And yeah, like I said in the beginning of the call, we do these every other Thursday. And again, they're free to attend. If you have some friends or other advisors in your network that you think would get some value out of these, feel free to spread the word. I do have, yeah, so like Sal mentioned, we do, if you guys are wanting to connect with Sal directly, here's the link just in the chat. Super simple, just possibility, our company name.com/next.